Hi. Session 5 writing task is to write a letter to a pharmacist requesting an education on proper inhaler use for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease patient Mrs. Anna Parrow, who is currently under a care for her leg ulcer. Here, you are a district nurse who is taking care of this patient, Mrs. Anna Parrow, and she has complained about her shortness of breath and ineffectiveness of the medicines she takes for that. Let us look into the case note first. She is a widow who lives alone and her children are away as well. You are requesting a proper education to a pharmacist because when this patient complained about her shortness of breath, which increases during day activities, you try to give proper education about how to use this inhaler. But she refused your education and she claimed that she does it in a right way as taught by her pharmacist. That is the reason why you are writing this letter to the pharmacist. This case note is a very short one, therefore you don't have much information to omit except the details about her children. You can still say that she lives alone and that factor increases her risk and may make the situation worse. Taking all these points, we have to prepare a letter in an organized manner. Now, let us see how we can write a letter with the help of a sample letter written by a candidate from India. The address, date and salutation are correct, but in the salutation you must use capital P for pharmacist, which is a proper way to write. Moving to reference, the writer could have written it better. While writing reference, we don't have to write the word aged. Instead, you can simply say 75 years. So we can write RE, then place a colon and write Mrs. Anna Parrow, 75 years. This is the correct way to write a reference. Moving to the introduction paragraph, I am writing this letter to request you to teach Mrs. Anna Parrow regarding the correct procedure of inhaler to improve her breathing pattern as she complains about shortness of breath during my home visit today. Here we can see I am. I am doesn't imply anything. In fact, it's a mistake. Either you have to write I am or I apostrophe am. Then that makes sense. Otherwise, that is pointless. You don't have to write this letter because we already know this is a letter. The person who writes and the person who reads know that this is the letter. Therefore, we can avoid using this phrase. Barring this minor mistakes, this introduction is pretty much good, which gives us a clear idea. However, the introduction misses small information, which is on what situation the district nurse visited this lady. Mrs. Parrow is under your care for her leg ulcer. Gives the relevant information which gives an idea about the context. Moving on to the second paragraph, it says, Mrs. Parrow has been suffering from chronic obstructive disease and undertaking her prescribed medications, salbutamol and ipratropium daily. She experienced shortness of breath during her day activities which resolves with rest or sitting down. Here it says she experienced shortness of breath means she experienced it for just one time, but which resolves with rest or sitting down is framed in simple present tense. However, the previous part is framed in simple past tense. So you can rewrite the sentence into she experiences shortness of breath during her day activities which resolves with rest or sitting down, which is now in proper tense. Following two sentences are written correctly, however, the last sentence written, all the investigations and medications detail are listed on the reference is totally irrelevant and wrong because no investigation happened here but just an examination and the medication details are not needed to include in the reference because the writer has already mentioned the medication she uses in the letter. Moving to the third paragraph, on observation, Mrs. Parrow usage of inhaler is found to be inappropriate. She is advised to use Ventolin inhaler 2 puffs under supervision. She was educated for re-inhaler use with spacer, but she claims that she was taught another method of administration by her pharmacist. So it would be greatly appreciated if you could advise her the proper usage of inhaler to reduce that risk. Here, after mentioning the district nurse educated her about the re-inhaler use with spacer, you should add one more point, which is she refused the way district nurse taught her. The first sentence can be altered in such a way that Mrs. Sparrow was advised to use an inhaler under supervision and is observed that she uses in improper way, which makes the paragraph much impressive. Coming to the wind-up sentence, you have to mention the name of the patient along with the sentence. Then it becomes, please contact me if you have any queries regarding Mrs. Sparrow. In the sign off, yours sincerely, which is wrong because the writer used your instead of yours. It should be yours sincerely, comma, charge nurse, which is correct. In general, this letter is alright, but still this letter cannot be said to score more than 340. This letter will score somewhere around 320. Thank you.
New method for OET learning. How are you preparing? Online or offline? For speaking and writing, you can get tutor reviews. How will you be able to manage your reading and listening? How can you manage your self-practice easier than ever before? Learn OET in Merlin's way. Most successful OET learning method from world's best online trainer. Chat now, mentormerlinexam.com.